And we do get the All-Star rosters announced. And it's just narrows. I'm losing out on all these international guys. I'm letting it completely go by me. I guess I can still sign this guy for... God, I mean, how did that last guy not even take what I offered? I'm just going to offer him 4, I guess. Really have to overpay these guys now. But let's take a look at the All-Star rosters. Faito, who's having a really good year, 2.66 ERA. Pintz, it's his first year full-time out of the bullpen. And he's been really successful for us. Pretty much been our best free agent. Well, no, I guess our best free agent signing would have been Coronel. Who I'm surprised Coronel didn't make the All-Star team because he's been raking lately. I guess there's been some pretty good candidates. I'd say maybe he deserves to make it over this guy, though. I'll show you his stats in a sec. Sequist has been really good, though. And so is this guy, Oler. But Devers makes it. Devers has been raking as well. Not so much Correa. Correa's fallen off. That's why you don't see him on this list. But we'll take a look at the lineups real quick. And we'll simulate this last day. But you can see Devers is hot. Coronel slashing 285, 380, 607. He's got 29 dingers already. Him and Devers have combined for 54. And we only split those 4 against Kansas City. So really not doing well right now. Odor has been struggling since he came over, not hitting for power. Jacobson is struggling. Ploman is also really struggling. So things just really not going our way right now. Really no other way to put it. But we'll continue to see where things stand until we get right up to July 31st. Who knows? Things could turn around. Still thought, I think we have a better roster than what we've played to so far. But 11 games off the pace of the Yankees at this point is going to be awfully tough to come back from. All right, and I think I'm going to try and get an outfielder with a trade of Jose De Leon, who I was probably going to DFA anyway now that Blake Snell is ready to come off the disabled list. So it's really just about getting guys who don't have bad contracts. Brinson has been good this year, but he's got $9 million that he's owed next year. Stewart has not been good this year and doesn't play defense, but he is a guy on a 1-year deal. Dustin Peterson, same thing, although he doesn't really have the ratings. I think Brinson would be like my number 1 guy. I know Bader, his contract is just too much. There's no way. Dominic Smith, he plays first base, but he does not play. I don't think he can play the outfield. Yeah, I certainly couldn't. But he's a good bat. If we didn't already have a beast at first base, Hector Hernandez, his guy could certainly get. He has a good eye at least. But I think Brinson would be my number 1 option if I could get them to eat most of this money, because I don't want to have to owe him money next year. Like if they ate, so I would only owe him. Oh yeah, see, it's already close at. What if they ate 90% of it? So I'd only owe him like $1 million next year. What would you want? Shane Baz, Okier. Yeah, I'll trade you this catcher. How about you eat all of the contract then? Thank you. And how about you also give us another reliever like Mason Melotakis or yeah, we could try to get Wendelken back. No, I don't think we could get Adolphus because they value him very highly. McAvoy maybe, but I don't really like his contract. Tapia, I think, there's no way we would get him unless we give up a top prospect like Sarpong and probably something else, which I don't really want to do. But we will take Melotakis and see if he can help us out. We probably don't. Yeah, I'm not even going to bother asking them to retain the money because it's only a 1-year deal. We have the money to eat his contract. Jordan Alvarez. How unlikely is it that we get him? Because he's having a monster year. And yes, it is very unlikely. Who else on their roster? Schmininger and Duenas. They have this guy, Jorge Duenas, young guy. They value him very highly. Buxton makes too much money. Wander Javier plays good. Javier, plays very good defense, but we're not going to be able to get any of these guys. So, all right, we're just going to get Brinson and Melotakis. Hopefully Brinson helps us out in the outfield a little bit. We did get that international free agent. So we did get 1 international free agent at least. And we're going to activate Brinson and send down Cadenas. And we have to make room for Melotakis. I think we already do, because we're going to throw probably Lara back into the rotation, I would think. Let's see. What does Dave Roberts think? Yep, Lara back in there. Actually, no, because it's going to be, what am I saying? Because we got Snell back, so it's got to be someone else who gets sent down. Baz, maybe we'll send down Lara for now, since he has options to activate Snell. Robles is out for 5 more weeks. That's a big blow to us, because we really don't have a center fielder without him. We have this guy playing center field, Grossvenner. Whoops, don't save this lineup. Do we need... No, we have Brinson. And Brinson probably starts against lefties. Oh, he doesn't even start against lefties. Jacobson bats right-handed. What am I saying? Well, we'll see if Brinson gets any more significant playing time if those guys continue to struggle. So we're about a week away from the trade deadline now, and the Yankees are pretty much pulling away, have pulled away with the AL East. 9 games up on the Red Sox, 10 games up on us, but we are still in the mix for the wild card, only 2 games off the pace of the White Sox, who occupy that second wild card spot right now. And, you know, as long as we are in a position for that kind of spot, I don't think I'm going to, you know, want to sell off any pieces. I mean, things could change within the next week, but look at the guys who are going to be free agents next year. I mean, we really have most of our guys locked up for multiple years here. I guess Honeywell could find himself as a free agent, but I mean, who would we have to replace him? He's still been solid the last couple of years and doesn't make a lot of money, only $13 million, so I don't think he is going to be coming off the books or anything. I mean, Robles, he needs to stay healthy. It's the biggest thing for him. Koga is going to be off the books, but there won't be anything Melitaka. So I think we're just going to continue to try and really, try to find some rentals, some buy low pieces, maybe still try to find another outfielder, a corner guy, and possibly a bullpen piece. I think, Odor's righted the ship a little bit for us. So I think Odor's going to be fine at second base. The infield and catcher, Mendez is starting to hit the ball a little bit better now. Schwartz still kind of struggling. I might try to swap him out. But the bullpen really is, and maybe even another start. Well, Funkhauser's been good for us so far. It's really the bullpen and maybe right field, but there are certainly a bunch of different ways we could go about it. And I didn't even realize this happened. Jim Fisher's out for the year with a torn labrum. When did that happen? Like, all these things are just going over my head. I don't even see. They're not even popping up, but there's just so much going on, I guess. I don't know. But we'll call up. Now we definitely need to probably need to trade for like multiple relievers. I don't know how we're going to be able to do that, but we will try to figure it out. Let's simulate forward a few more days, just see where things go over the next week or so. Got Workman Garcia in the bullpen now in place of Jim Fisher, I'm sure. Yeah. Immediately we lose a game thanks to our bullpen in the 17th inning. Hard to blame our bullpen for losing a game in the 17th inning because they're probably part of the reason why they only had 2 runs heading into that inning. But now Melotakis is hurt, so we are like really running out of options now. This is getting pretty dire. Like, seriously, I guess we'll call Lara back up. That would make sense. But we've got Wilkeman, Garcia in the bullpen, and got Gomez. It is quite the collection out there. And I think we just got swept by Houston. So maybe we won't be buyers. Who knows? Maybe we'll just stick with this team. I don't think our run differential is any good. I'll check that, but I don't really think we have like any super positive underlying metrics. I guess the most positive thing we take from this is that we're still only 3 games off the pace of the second wildcard team. Honeywell just got a little banged up, but that's okay. I think the Red Sox are that second wildcard team. Right now we just swept Toronto. The team is so hot and cold, I don't really know what to make of it. And the run differential is still under 500, and it's really the bullpen. Like, we just have such bad bullpen arms. I don't know where we're going to be able to trade for bullpen arms, but hopefully we can find some teams. One card we could pull is calling up Alfredo Barrios. This would be really, really premature, but look how dominant he's been in AA. 21 2/3 innings so far, and not a single run against 4-0. Only 8 hits allowed. The walks are still kind of a problem, but obviously no home runs, and the strikeouts are pretty high. So I say, let's do that. Let's give it a shot. Alfredo Barrios, why not? See if maybe he can give us a spark there out of the bullpen. So probably going to keep going with these 3 guys. Gomez, Barrios. I think it's Lara and Lumen that occupy the spots that could be upgraded. Lumen, it's really a problem with the home run ball. As much as I would like to keep him because he's a Rule 5 draft pick, I think Baz is probably fine as the 5th starter. I don't really know, actually, to be honest. I guess Lara is insurance as a 5th starter. But I think we could still go about getting another reliever. Well, this is a kind of a trade I just stumbled into, but I think I'm going to make. I mean, it seems like a no-brainer. Michael Otanes, who's controllable and, a useful starter according to our scouts. decent ratings and had been decent into the Arizona bullpen last couple of years. Not so much this year, but I mean, he seems like he's better than Shane Baz. Baz, he's also a controllable guy, but I mean, I would say his ratings are definitely worse. Baz also will be a quote-unquote steady presence in the middle of the rotation, so I don't really know if this is an upgrade. Otana certainly seems like he has the better ratings, though. I don't know what his ratings would be as a starter is the thing. Can I change his position to starter? Well, that's... Now what are his ratings? Now he's star and a half, so now I don't know, actually. Now I don't know if that's a good trade. Alright, so I'm really struggling to find deals for relievers. This is one of the only ones, and this is kind of a... I don't really know if this is going to turn out to be a great deal for us, but Freeland has been pretty good as a reliever for Philadelphia this year after being used as a starter pretty ineffectively last year, and his ratings aren't great, but a left-handed arm I think could help us and replace Dave Lumen. And it's only going to cost us Jamie Lucas, who although is probably better, I like Lucas, scouts like Lucas, but he is blocked by Coronel on our team now, so he just doesn't really have a role or a spot where he's going to have an opportunity to improve. And I literally can't even get like Luke Leftwich or any other crappy start. Like, can't even get Cameron Bishop for Jamie Lucas, but I can get Kyle Freeman, like, just barely. I can't even eke, like, Zach Curtis out of it for anyone less than, let's see, it's probably going to be, anyone less than Kyle Jacobson, which is, like, I need him. I can't just flip him. I need him to be an outfielder for me, so it's pretty tough to find trades for relievers, but I guess I'm going to do this one. So he's going to replace Dave Lumen on our team. Going to release and then add Freeland to the mix. And Freeland is controllable, so perhaps he could stick around with us. Baz, I'm going to shop around because we did. It seems like when I shop the guys around, then the offers actually aren't quite as good as what I can really get if I just went through and looked at all the trade offers. Although here's some decent offers for Baz. I really want like another pitcher for him because I got some decent. Found some decent trades for other starters. Hunter Green. This is kind of an interesting one. Probably not what I'm going to do, though. A lot of relievers being offered from Miami. But I kind of need a fifth starter in this spot because I don't really want to turn to Miguel Lara. This guy could definitely be a starter. There's a lot to like in a solid number 3. Number 2 in a few. Interesting. High strikeout numbers. I like that. This guy kind of intrigues me. This guy was a 3rd overall pick. Another intriguing option. Decent starting pitcher. His ratings still seem like they could be pretty good. Wow, look at the OSA ratings for him. That feels like a good buy low for Shane Baz. He'd be a solid 5th starter. I think I like that deal over the other one. I can get Jamie Lucas back for him. No, thank you. Yusniel Diaz, who wouldn't be bad. But I think I'm fine in center field. His contract's not too great. Jake Bowers, I could get him back. He's making not a lot of money. Not really hitting for Toronto this year either. But he's, according to this game, truly excellent hitter. Still, he would be he'd be an upgrade in right field. That's kind of tempting to try and get him back. I don't know if I get him back for anything else. But he would be awesome to get back and plug in right field or left field. See, the thing about this is I also want that starter that got offered to us. Because like if I just trade Baz for Bowers, I'm going to be down a starter. But perhaps either there's another way I could get... Who was it? The guy from the Twins, Andy Schrader. There probably isn't. But... Alright, well this works out perfect. I found a better deal for Bowers. Kyle Jacobson, Andy Ibanez, and Andy Armster. And the question is, would I rather keep Jacobson over a guy like Brinson? Jacobson's offensive numbers have kind of stabilized for us. He's a right-handed bat. So is Brinson. Brinson has been okay for us. I don't know how much more we'd have to give up if we swap Brinson in here. I think I'd like to keep Ploman, even though him and Bowers are kind of both left fielders. So we'd have to throw in Grossvenner, who's actually been good for us in center field filling in. And I can't really afford to trade him so long as Robles is hurt. And even when Robles is back, he's certainly prone to getting hurt again, so I think I'd like to keep Grossvenner, even though he's played up his value a little bit this year. So I guess I probably will have to give up Jacobson, unfortunately. Here we go. This actually works out instead. How about I do Morales and JJ Schwartz? Because I can just call up Cordell Dunn anyway, and Schwartz has been really bad. So getting rid of him in this deal, I get Bowers. And I don't think there's any way I can get another reliever from this team. Oscar De La Cruz even. Can't quite accept it. We don't really have much else to offer. I guess we could try and flip someone instead of Morales, but I don't really want to give up too much more than Morales, to be quite honest. But let's see. Baz, nope, we need him in another deal. Okay. And I need Vargas in the other deal too. Actually, maybe I don't need Vargas. So I could trade Vargas. Oh, dude, would Vargas get me? There's no way Vargas would get me Mike Broda, would it? That would be like the ultimate. That would be the ultimate steal from Toronto. What if I go to prospects, sort, do Ricky Vargas, and take out Andy Armster? How close does that get us? That does not get us very close. Okay. So never mind then. We're going to do Schwartz. We are going to do Andy Armster in there and Luis Morales when I find him. Where is he? Nope, that's Montero. Here he is, Luis Morales. All right, then that is the deal for Jake Bowers. And then we're also going to do the trade with Minnesota, which is Shane Baz for Andy Schrader, the former number 3 overall draft pick. And all right, so those are 2 moves that I think are going to help us out. We'll throw Bowers. And I feel like our whole bench is like torn to shreds, but that's okay because we have options in AAA. We're going to call up Cordell Dunn, as well as Mike Donnelly. And I'm going to also activate Jake Bowers and Andy Schrader. And I think I have room for 2 more players. And it looks like I'm going to have to player lock. Probably player lock Odor to second base, since the manager wants to start Donnelly. But no, thank you, Dave Roberts. Oh, I can't even do that. Oh, no. Because Roberts is so controlling. He really wants to play Devers at second? Are you serious? Why? Why, Dave Roberts? Why are you doing this? Don't do this to me. Gonna ruin my team. Alright, this is fine. I still need another position player and another pitcher, I guess. Actually, it could just be 2 position players. Let's call up Ramiro Rodriguez and who else? Maybe Icing Coca, I guess. Even though I'm sure Roberts is just gonna want to play Coca as well. Yeah, Coca over Odor. Those games at third base, of course. But looking at the pitching staff now, this is really the area we try to address. We got some new names in here, and right now we have Schrader coming out of the bullpen instead of Miguel Lara. That's okay, I guess. Hopefully those will swap at some point. I'd like to see Schrader get the 5th starter spot, but we'll see. I think that's going to wrap it up for our deadline moves, though. We'll see if the team picks it up in the month of August and maybe contends for that second wildcard spot, as I said. But we tried our best to reshape some of the roster and made a bunch of trades. I don't know if it's going to prove to all just be lateral moves, or maybe we'll be able to make a run. But let's see how we do in this Seattle series, and then I will wrap up the episode, our first series since making all of those trades. And let's see, Funkhauser has already made a couple starts with us. He's got a 2.78 ERA so far in his starts with us, and Snell going in this second game of the series, looking to turn it around a little bit in the second half. He kind of had a rough first half, and then Lara going in the third game, the rubber match. That's probably not a good sign for us, but let's see, maybe he has a good start. Creating picture. And we do win. 1-0. So Lara did have a good start. Robles suffered a setback, but Lara with 8 innings, 2 hits, no runs allowed. That is good to see. All right, so that is going to do it for this episode. Hope you guys did enjoy. Currently, we are a game out of that second wild card, so very much in the race. And if it is a tight race in the month of September, I will record a September episode, but hopefully we'll probably end up seeing... Well, I don't know. I don't know what we hope for. Hopefully we'll make the playoffs uncontested, but I don't think that's going to happen. It might be a little too late. Hopefully Bowers helps turn it around. We've got him for a few more years now. He's got possibly a 4-year deal. But we'll see if he helps us turn it around. So that is going to do it. Hope you guys did enjoy. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'm out. Peace.